Hello, everyone. Welcome on in. Happy Saturday. Uh, I hope everyone's day is going great or will be going great depending on your time zone. We are back here again with some more of the Lord of the Rings inspired. And is it inspired if it's in the setting?
No.
I mean, it's not the Lord of the Rings. It's in Middle Earth.
It'd be like Middle Earth. It would just be Middle Earth at that point.
Yeah. So our Middle Earth campaign. It's not a campaign.
Yeah.
It's a mini campaign because it has different parts. But technicalities aside, welcome back in. I hope you will enjoy hanging out with us. And I would like to quickly go over why we're doing this, aside from it's fucking fun. And we are doing this whole thing during June to raise money for the Trevor Project, which is an organization that works with crisis intervention and suicide prevention in LGBTQIA+ youth. Something that is very close to a lot of our hearts. I lost my train of thought. Let's move on.
Sorry.
No, my brain today is a bit scrambled. And yesterday we broke another milestone in the donations, which unlocked the 4th out of 5 secret projects that I have lined up. And that one is how to run time pressures in TTRPGs. So right now we have how to play an evil character, how to be a game master without that much issue, how to run political intrigue, and how to run time pressures. All of these videos will be released in the coming year, so don't hold your breath for each of them, because I have so much planned. I mean, yes, Tony, it's always scrambled. It's part of the whole thing where neurospicy but undiagnosed. Fun. Because the waitlist is 2 years long to see a professional about it.
Yeah.
Too bad I know you, because I could
Yeah.
maybe one day eventually do an assessment, but I know you, so I can't.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
ethic. And like thinking boards. And dual relationship.
Yeah. I mean, you could be my reference for when the assessment starts. Because here they would like to talk to people who actually have known you for a long time. But,
yeah. I'll tell them whatever they need to hear to diagnose you, if that's what you're wanting. But also self-diagnosis is valid if you've done the research and looked into stuff.
Yes.
Very deeply, too.
Well, considering that medication that is supposed to make people's kind of calms me, I'm leaning towards somewhere on that spectrum. But anywho, so as Lillith has done, you can check it out under the donate !donate. You can find the link. Please only give what you can afford to give. Take care of yourself first, okay? But each $5 donated will give you a ticket into the raffle at the end of the month. And yes, Lilith, you're faster than my brain can keep up. If you want to catch up with this previous episode, you can find it over on YouTube, along with our other TTRPG and RPG projects and campaigns, including 8 coins for the Ferryman, our Theros-based campaign, and Rails of Morning, the Eberron-based campaign. Yeah, all of that is over on YouTube. If you want to come and hang out with us, just say hi, watch some silly memes, read about people being silly, or check out some of the amazing art from our artists and writers. You can check out our Discord. Now, the music you are hopefully listening to right now, it's just very quiet, is by Adrian von Ziegler. You can find out more of his stuff if you type in music 2 in the chat. He just released a new song. I'm so hyped for it. I haven't heard it yet, so. But everything else he's created is amazing. Sound effects and sounds during the game will be by Sirenscape. The overlay and starting soon screen and map we might get to were made by me in Incarnate. This one is by Freely Publishing. And I think that's it. No! If you want to know what you can do to help or hinder the party, you can type in !perks in the chat. There we go. That's how we do it. And
I was waiting for you to say it.
Sorry, I put an explanation in chat as to why I just died laughing in the.
I'll have to see that later. If I touch that, my cameras get all wonk.
Oh god. I can just put it in.
Yeesh. But let's go around the table and introduce our players. And let's start with Lillith. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Lillith, or Lily, or Lils. I'm playing Lavender, the halfling. And I'm very short.
Which is why we can
I
barely
love
see
animals.
her. Psycole.
Hi, I'm Psycole, playing Lothar, the rapidly sobering up drunk dwarf.
Terris.
Hi, I'm Terris, your friendly neighborhood ferret. Today I am playing Naron, the elven scholar.
And Jackson.
Hello, I'm Jackson or Kirasagi or Dark Neverland, depending on where you find me online. And I am playing the very tall Ranger of the North, Rosemary. I will do that every time in quotes. I will do her name every time in quotes for a reason.
And hi, I am Ardana or Joe, or you there, since Lillith is right there. I am the GM and channel runner around these parts. And I am so stoked to get into this because we are starting right in the middle of it.
Yeah. There's a phrase for that. I don't remember what the phrase for it is. When you start, I think it's in media res.
Yes, in media res. When
you start in the middle of the action.
I love starting sessions like that. I also love ending sessions there. It's like cliffhanger in medias res. People tend to come back to see what happens.
Rude.
I know. Okay, anyone want to give us a recap of what happened last time?
You try and take my rat.
A group of adventurers met in a tavern, or was sitting in a tavern, and we noticed some folks that looked very tired. We talked about them, found out they're having a problem with something bothering them at night of a supernatural origin. We learned it could be a white or vampire, and they have animal servants, and Lavender was previously befriending a rat, and we kind of collectively, well, let me specify, Rosemary, me, and Naron collectively freaked out trying to get the rat, and you can cue Benny Hill music for that, and go see it in the previous video because it really is a Benny Hill moment. Eventually, we resolved things, and we traveled to the farm that these people had left because they just couldn't sleep because of what was bothering them, and we had some problems with being watched by rats, and we sat down to rest, and I believe that we are starting in the middle of Naron potentially being attacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was patrolling the inside of
Knife
the house.
point. It's like knife point against a wall by something.
He was pinned against a wall, choke slam style.
Yeah. It's either a white or a vampire. My money's on vampire, but we'll find out.
Okay. Yep. You can have a point of inspiration for that recap. Because that's usually how I do
sweet.
it. And
Cool. Will probably come in handy. Where do I put it?
it should be at the top of your sheet. It says they call it heroic inspiration now.
Heroic inspiration now. Yeah, that's what I thought. I just had to scroll up. I have like 3 different windows open. I gotta do finagling.
Hey, kitty. You can purr all
Grab
you
my
want,
notes.
just don't bite my microphone.
Grab the Sirenscape thing. It's a little loud, I think. Let's turn it down a little.
That's what I don't have on yet. Sirenscape.
Before I deafen everyone else, let's turn
There
that
we go.
down a little.
Now people can see me better because my cat's not on my lap, so I can sit closer to my light.
The sacrifices we make for cats.
I've got one under my elbow and one in my lap. So.
Y'all don't need to see my face that close.
All right.
If she'll get off them later tonight, I will try and take a photo of I think they're about a week and a bit old kittens that I'm fostering right now. Mama gave birth like a week ago. There's only 2 of them.
All right. If we are all as comfortable as we are going to get, let's get started.
I like that phrasing.
Naron.
Yes.
Long fangs glisten in the faint light of a lantern. Dust is swirling in the night air of the room. Cold earth breath seems to move across your face, though the creature pinning you to the wall does not seem to be breathing at all. All you've heard is, "Where is it?" And piercing, pale eyes staring straight into yours. What do you do?
He is going to attempt to stay calm and just say, "I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about."
The map.
No idea.
Well, find it.
Well, what is it a map of?
Everything.
Be more specific.
You don't know it, obviously.
I don't know it, no. What makes you think it's here? And why were you bothering those nice people?
It was... I was told the map I want could be found on the borders of the forest. This is on the borders to the forest.
But those people clearly have no idea what you're talking about either. So, either be more forthcoming with your details or piss off. Please.
You feel a hand reach, like move from your chest up and to your chin, and scraping along the underside of your chin, a long claw-like nail.
I'm fairly certain we don't know each other quite that well yet.
Give me a Actually, give me a wisdom check.
Wisdom check. Wisdom check. There. Oh, that's a 13?
In this moment of with your back against the wall, suddenly it clicks in your mind. The creature is not speaking Western. It's a language you know quite well. However, as they are speaking Sindarin.
Which is my native language.
Yes. And body twitching slightly. Sorry?
No, how loud is, like, being a ranger and someone who travels outdoors a lot by myself, I would imagine that I'm a fairly light sleeper, particularly tonight because we're expecting danger. Depending on how long this has gone on, is it possible to make some sort of, like, I would assume a perception check to see if, like, I can hear, like, noise happening, like, or, like, hear that, like, there's been a disturbance or someone's talking or...
Yeah, Naren's certainly not trying to be quiet about this.
Yeah. Well, your passive perception is pretty high, so I'd say the thump of Naren hitting the wall would have startled you a little bit. Not in like a, oh shit, something's happening, but what was that kind of way.
Okay.
And I'd say towards, like, yeah, towards now, I'd say you'd be able to start picking up on someone talking, especially if since Naren isn't being quiet, you can hear talking. Yeah. I don't know if you speak Sindarin, however.
I do. It's one of my native languages, being what the rangers' backgrounds are.
Yeah.
As like a people.
You start picking
up.
That
would certainly perk me up more if I heard Sindarin, because that's not common to hear.
No, absolutely not here. You would start picking that up. First you hear Naren, and then you hear another voice. I'd also say that because Lavender's, yours is almost as high. We'll move on to that. But yes, you would also start like shaking awake, Lavender, but slower.
Okay.
And yeah, the woman Naren, you feel like something wet start running down your neck from where the nail has moved down your chin.
We certainly don't know each other that well. Now, come on.
Well, if you help me find the map, perhaps we can.
To what end? I'm just curious. To what end?
The map shows the land as it is.
Yes.
Not as someone thought it would look like.
Right, and you need this for what reason? I am
That's my
fairly familiar with this area, and I might be able to help you further. He bluffs.
Give me a persuasion or deception check.
I would like to...
Let's see. -1 for both of those. Shit. Come on, roll. I'm experiencing the lag.
Yeah.
Not the lag.
Oh, that's a natural 18 for 17.
Nice. She takes a step back from you, Naren. You can clearly see that, like, tattered clothing that once upon a time looked really nice, but has just... it doesn't smell bad, so the clothing seems to be washed, but and just patched, but they are not new. They are century old, nearly. You've seen similar clothing a long time ago on, like, in paintings. But it's tattered, it's patched, it's worn. Her hair is tied back in a rather elaborate braid. Looks well kept. But she's gaunt, and you can't really tell colors in the light because the only light you have is from the lantern. But she looks kind of gray, pale gray in coloration, with eyes to match, dark brown hair. She steps back a little and seems to shift under, like her whole body seems to shift under her clothing, but her clothing doesn't.
Okay.
Can I do I'm not trying to do a sneak attack, even though I can. I don't want to be the first one to attack, but can I do a stealth check to, like, have been during this time, like, I'm listening, but also I'm, like, trying to, like, get up as quietly as possible and, like, I'm not trying to be unseen necessarily, because I want to make a point once I get in visual range to be like, hey, there's other people here, but I don't want to, like, get up noisily. I want to get up as quietly as I can so I can, like, make my way more slowly.
Yeah,
if that makes
absolutely.
sense. But I'm, like, not trying to, like, once I get up, I'm not trying to necessarily stay out of view stealthy. I just want to try and, like, not be noisy.
All right, yeah, absolutely, you can do that.
Okay.
So give me a stealth check.
Good in, so hopefully my dice rolls aren't balls this session. They are balls, but not quite as balls. Poop. I didn't trip.
Yes,
I didn't
Josh.
fall, so that's something.
Yeah, you get up from where you've been sleeping, and you find that your left leg is slightly asleep from having slept on the floor. And as you're moving, you're not as quiet as you wish you would have been, because stumbling a little, it hurts a little to put weight on that foot, like the pins and needles when you put weight on a sleeping foot.
I probably also imagine I'm more used to sleeping outdoors than, like, in a house.
Yeah.
Okay, well, at least I didn't trip and fall on my face.
And as you take a step, the floorboard kind of creaks a little bit, but just for a fraction of a moment. Stopping, you don't really hear any reactions. I'd say Lavender and Lothar, Lavender, you're almost awake, so you would have noticed that. Lothar, you hear something.
My passive is 12.
Yeah,
Okay.
you hear something, but it's not like, oh no, something's happening. It's like a house creaking.
Okay. He's probably snoring very loudly.
Yeah. Also, you are real drunk, man.
Yes.
Is something happening?
We have a visitor.
Ooh, visitor.
And
Is it a rat?
I'm going
Oh.
to... Naran, is everything all right, or do you need assistance?
That depends on our guest. Am I all right, dear, or do I need assistance?
Find me the map, and you will have no problems.
So you've told me what the map is for, briefly. That Perhaps I can just give you directions to where you need to be?
No. It's not a matter of a where. It's a matter of a what.
And what is the what?
None of your business.
None of your business too.
Right. Well, I work better when I'm not under so much pressure. So if you would kindly remove your talon from my neck.
Useless. Fine.
Well, I can't exactly move around and look if you're poking me in the throat, can I?
Good point.
Are the rats yours, by the way? Lovely creatures.
They are. Some of them. Not all.
I like the rats.
Her head just whips around and looks straight at the Lavender who's talking, and you see that pale her pale eyes just focus, laser point focus at you, Lavender.
Hi.
A small one.
I'm sorry if I overfed one of your rats.
I don't understand. None of mine have been fed this night.
And she will look dead serious at the elves. You took my pet.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go over and like wake up Lothar more. So that he's not. I'll just say, "Hey, we have a visitor. Wake up!" And like I will like gently kick him if necessary because he's got armor, so I'm not gonna hurt him too bad. Just like clang.
So he would have. So he fell asleep, kind of like against the wall, arms holding his axe. He's probably rolled over, like slid down and died. So you've kicked him, and he just kind of like hugs his axe close. 5 more minutes.
No.
Oh. And then he starts to get up.
I'll give you an ale if you wake up faster.
4 minutes is there. He gets up, don't worry.
Yeah.
He's up. He's kind of like propping himself up on his axe, and he's just blinking his eyes, not really paying attention.
I'm guessing that when the very old elven lady talked to Lavender, she switched her language because most hobbits do not know Elven.
No, she would switch to a Westron.
She would have switched to a restaurant. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't some random telepathy.
No.
So
she switched to
like,
Westron, but it's like an older version of it.
Okay, it's like speaking Old English.
Well, it's like
Middle English.
Middle English, basically. You can understand it, but
Okay.
it's like it's. I'm not gonna attempt that because I don't speak Middle English other than Shakespeare quotes.
No,
but
it's
which is
the equivalent of like that's not common phrasing today.
No, and
very
still,
formal, very old.
Shakespeare is early modern, but yeah.
ADHD tangent.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with Lothar up and Lavender there, are like, I think you described the room as like having like it's a small house.
Yeah.
So like, there's not like they're still Naran and the lady are still in the bedroom, but they're at like the doorway. So like, we don't have we can all see each other without having to like come walk closer, right?
No,
okay.
So you can. The door to the small bedroom is open. The door to the room that you're in is open. You can halfway see Naran because he's shoved up against the wall, so only parts of him is visible. You can see her completely, or the silhouette of her in the lantern light. But you can see most of her because she's standing in the lantern light. But
Okay.
you can partially see Naron.
Right. My lady, might we all have this discussion together as a group rather than alone in the bedroom? And I'm being nice on purpose. Like she's clearly someone of some sort of status because her clothes are old AF and her like speaking is like real archaic. Is she speaking an older version of Sindarin also, or speaking like more modern version? Because it has like a few different
Yeah.
metagaming nerd brain. It has a few dialects. I would know that in character too, because I just wanted to...
her way of speaking is not as old. Like her Sindarin is not as old as the Westron.
Okay.
So, but it's still not like it doesn't contain any of the modern slang, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
It's more of a. She's probably spoken Sindarin more than Westron in the past few years.
Okay. Got it. I was just trying to mentally get like sort of a rough age range.
Yeah, so
Which it actually does narrow it down a little bit.
Her Sindarin would be like actually give me a...
I mean, I can make a roll for it too.
Yeah,
I can make a like roll off her perception off her clothes too, and see if I can get a rough range of how old she is based off the clothes.
I'm trying
if
to
I can see the
like,
clothes well enough.
Because Rosemary is so well traveled and she's like spoken with so many different people. Actually, Naren can do it too, but
okay. What do I roll?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think it would be
history, maybe.
I'd say history for the clothing, and if you're trying to pinpoint the way of speaking, I'd say a wisdom check. Like how old her use of language is.
I'll go history because I've got a +4 to that. Did I click that, or did I just think?
It would be a perception check to pinpoint the way of speaking.
Okay. Well, I'm more. I'm more interested in like the clothing because like it's so old that the language is probably roughly this old too. If she's wearing such old clothing, I'm more interested because in that. So, but I will roll a wisdom to just. To,
for history, I have rolled a 23.
Just for knowledge's sake, you said wisdom check, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm getting better slowly. I hate digital dice so much. Okay.
All right.
But regardless, I have asked very formally and addressed her as my lady because, like, clearly, like, she has some sort of stature based on an initial glance of her clothing and the way she's speaking.
Yeah.
And I would defer to being formal with most elves I don't know anyway.
Let me double, because I had to double check something.
Probably.
Naren would, but he feels that if she's going to stick her talon up against his neck, they probably know each other well enough that he can be informal.
Yeah. Well, you know, same, but she hasn't done anything to me. I'm just trying to get all of us in one room to, like, minimize risk.
He's literally being nice and a little bit flippant about everything to throw her off guard, is all he's doing right now. Just, I'm in danger.
He's got that young and flippance about him.
Yes. He is small bean.
Why are you not showing me the damn... I'm trying to find an actual map of the damn place.
Then you stay still, you horrible cat.
I will put my hatchet away too, just to like further indicate that like I'm trying to not be threatening. I'm trying to be cordial and nice, and I don't want to be saying that while I'm holding a weapon. Because I did specify last time that I went to sleep with the hatchet in my hand just in case I had to throw a weapon at something. But she hasn't presented being a danger.
You know, I have to. You know, I love it when I have to actually dig out the bloody book to find the world map.
Ooh, pretty.
Uh,
We want it.
Yeah.
Grabby hands.
so we
Wabby
are
paws.
there.
I love how many people are commenting on the cameras being off. Being like, what's going on with the cameras? It's like, it's part of the bit, guys. Go watch the last
Tiny,
video.
okay?
Go watch part 1. You'll understand
Okay,
why the
there we go.
cameras seem like they're off.
All right, so now I can actually do things. So Naron, with that history check, you being from Mirkwood originally,
Yes.
haven't run into people wearing this style before. You've seen it in paintings before, but with a 23, which is really high, you recognize it as a style more commonly found in elves that stayed on the western side of the Blue Mountains. Not the ones that returned to the Eldar lands, but mostly the ones that didn't go further east.
Huh.
And
Loaded.
kind of hard to pinpoint because they are so worn and tattered in the, being repaired over and over and over again over decades probably. You can't really pinpoint exactly where, but there are certain things that stand out in the way, like in the styling, in the cut, in the few
Alright.
colors you can still find, that it is a style used by elves that stayed on the western side of the Blue Mountains.
Where is that compared to where we are right now?
So, bringing out the map, you are.
I'm not touching.
It's kind of hard to see because I can't find this one in the digital book. But where you are right now is here. The Blue Mountains is this range.
Yeah, way closer to
Yeah.
the Shire and stuff, right?
So the Shire is right here. You are Shire's right here. You are there.
Oh, I see. I'm seeing the wrong part of the map.
The
My
Blue
bad.
Mountain. Yeah, it's because it's mirrored. But the Blue Mountains are
Hey.
here, and so
Okay.
somewhere, probably in this area, is where her clothing is from.
That's
So,
nerd brain.
having seen this, he's just going to say, you've traveled far, haven't you?
I did. Yes.
Can we perhaps sit down and have a discussion about how we're going to go about finding you this map? Rather than you. I mean, I'm not opposed, but well, not the time nor the place. I don't feel, but you'd have me up against the wall.
At least I thought you would be. Well, you were alone.
I was patrolling.
Single targets are easier to take and persuade. But...
So are we trying to take me or persuade me?
You are a couple of millennia too young for me.
Very fair.
Yes.
Though it's all good practice.
Yes, little halfling.
Can I pet one of your rats?
Yes. They're not here. Well, they are,
Oh.
but not in the room.
And she will
Absolutely not. You can have to find one yourself.
And she will go looking for one.
I mean, we know where some are from last time. We all saw them. I don't know if you want to walk that far though, by yourself in the dark.
She will just go outside and like have her food and just be like, come. Lady said it was fine.
Roll me an animal handling check, Lavender.
Oh God.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's a 14.
Oh, I freaking.
One of the rats run up, like carefully, sniffles around, looks at you, grabs the food, and darts back into the shadows.
Oh, come on. She said it was fine.
Rosemary, with an 11, it's hard to tell from speech alone, but you imagine that whoever this lady was, she was probably left behind for some reason, or, probably the part where she attacks strangers in the night and has fangs was one of the reasons she was left behind. Well, you've heard elves speak in archaic language, so you would guess maybe 1200 years or so ago. It's a little hard to pinpoint exactly.
No, it was fine. That was more for me as a player because I'm a big nerd.
So,
okay, I'm gonna repeat my question, my lady. Could we come out to the table and discuss helping you find your map, rather than you two skulking in a dark bedroom?
Sure. If it ensures its finding, and quickly, and me not having to hang around here for too long, absolutely. She takes
been around
another.
a while, though. From what the owners of this place were telling us.
Well, they wouldn't help me search. So, I had to try to convince them.
Well, you see, they had no idea what you were talking about. It might, in future, when looking for something, behoove you to give a full explanation. Just a thought. Of course, you're much older and more experienced than I am about these things, so you can tell me to shut up.
Would that help?
To be quiet.
No,
Probably.
he's still gonna keep talking.
Hey.
And she's
I'm very
got.
young.
Yes.
I talk a lot.
So I've noticed. She takes another step back from you. And where did I put the... There we go. And sidesteps you, Naran, walks into the hallway and walks towards the room where the rest of you are in. Looking inside, well, she gives a glance towards the front door and makes a short whistling sound that my microphone is not going to pick up, so I'm not going to attempt it.
I can help.
My ears, thank you.
And no, that's not a short whistling sound. But Lavender, you see 4 small fuzzy creatures just run towards you as 4 rats join, like split and move into the hallway.
Can she pick up one?
Give me a dexterity check.
No, that's a save. Whoops.
Well, the number might be the same.
Dexterity. Come on. Absolutely not.
No.
I will use my inspiration for that.
All right.
I want a rat.
You need to beat 14.
Absolutely not.
Better, but still no.
Can Lothar attempt to catch one of the rats as it comes in?
I mean, they come into the room, so yes, absolutely. If you want, give me a dexterity check.
That's just Dex. Okay.
Yes, that's just dex.
Oh god, we're rolling as badly as we were. Fucking out. Jesus Christ. Okay, fine.
It's another
I'm
Benny
not
Hill
gonna
moment.
attempt it because I know better, and I don't really care that much about the rats. So y'all are on your own on that one. I'm more concerned about getting information and not dying. Not inciting a
I
battle.
could pet a rat. They won't let me pet them.
They're still rats. They're still skittish.
Rosemary, do you speak common sign?
Probably.
I can open your character sheet.
Well, I don't have it listed on my character sheet, but
Then you
that's because I probably haven't
don't.
put it in yet. Because I had to put a lot of stuff in by hand, and I'm sure there's something I forgot.
That was a language I specifically chose, so.
Oh. Well, I don't know if I get a language besides Sindarin and Western. If you got an extra language, then...
Yeah, no, I got to choose a language, and I chose common sign.
Oh, yeah, I did not get language choices. So, no.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, you work together a lot, so you might have like different signs anyway. That like this is for danger or
Little shorthand.
Yeah, a little shorthand things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel that once she's away from him, he is going to make a sign at you that would probably be something along the lines of double cross.
Oh yeah, while she's walking out and like because you're behind her, and I would be able to see you walking behind her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that he's going
Yeah.
to stab her in the back as she's walking out, just that he doesn't intend to play nice.
Right.
Forever. He's just he didn't want to try and fight her on his own. Kind of
Fair.
thing.
Okay. I don't give a sign that I saw you do that, but only because she's walking towards us and
Yeah.
would see me do some random gesture. But I definitely saw you do it. I just don't give acknowledgement that I saw you do it. Because I'm trying to avoid a fight if at all possible, because we don't
Yes.
know what her capabilities are. Would I have heard, though, because you said because of my waking up and passive, would I have heard her mention that she was told there's a map at the edge of the forest? Or is that something would I have heard something like that? Because I don't want to repeat stuff if I already had heard her say something about that before, because I can ask about it. I can ask, but I don't want to rehash conversation if it's unnecessary.
Yeah, I'd say
Or
so. You have
make
a
it
high
just-
enough
I was gonna say I can make a perception check to see if I.
Yeah, no, your passive is high enough that I'd say yeah, sure. Like
Okay.
you hear that you heard that thunking sound, and then even like
Yeah.
just because your body wasn't like completely awake doesn't mean like your perception
My
wasn't
ears
there.
weren't working.
So,
Right. Okay.
so
This
yeah,
map you want found. This map you want found. You said edge of the forest, but this is a fairly large forest. It could be at any edge of it. What makes you think that it's at the edge that borders this farmhouse?
have to start somewhere.
Okay. Fair enough.
Could be in the town, could be in this place. I sent my friends to check the town repeatedly. They haven't found that yet either. There are other homesteads on the border that I will check in the future.
You know, it really would help us if we knew more than just a map.
Well, I heard something about it being guarded. I'm assuming guarded because you mentioned a what?
I wouldn't know. It's called a Wayfarer's Map. It shows you the land as it is where you're at.
So you're lost?
So a topographical map, or just the layout without buildings or without settlements?
It shows everything on the surface of the world.
I see.
It shows creatures moving. It shows buildings coming and going. It shows landmarks rising and falling.
I see. It shows things in real time, past
Yes.
and present.
As it is at this moment as it is in the moment you open the map. And I want it. And it seems you're happy to help.
Something like
If
that.
If it gets you to leave this family in peace, then that is certainly an option. We're probably more capable than that family anyway, since they're simply farmers.
Sounds like an excellent idea. Well, if you search this homestead and then come find me, we can talk.
The forest is large. It may take us a few days to search thoroughly, but you don't. Seems that you're very impatient, and you interfering with our search would just lengthen our search.
I have all the time in the world, just not all the patience in existence.
We are mere mortals. We do need to sleep, and we do need to eat and rest. Even if some of us are very long-lived, we can still perish.
I do hope you don't before you find it. It would be such a shame.
May we know how to find you once we find this map, or will you find us?
Well, you can always come say hi when you find it. I don't live too far from here. It's just a few strides away, in fact.
Can I pull out a map that I would have of the land? It's not a living map, but because I have cartographer's tools, and one of my things is mapping areas. Can I, like, on the kitchen table, I'm presuming, like, open my map that I have and have her like point where it's at or circle it or something, and so that we
Yeah.
have to know where she's at when we can find her? Would you be willing to mark nearabouts? You don't have to mark your actual home. I understand safety reasons, but near enough so that we can find you when we find this map that you're looking for.
She's
I
got
have like so we have a pencil or something I can give her.
yeah. So she grabs the pencil, and first she just taps the homestead that you're currently at, like the general area where it is, and
Yeah.
just draws a short line to the northeast. Just like northeast, just maybe an inch in length at most.
So like, wow, that's real close. Okay, what would that be the equivalent of in like travel time? Is like from this homestead? Is that like half a day, a couple hours, like a day?
You'd say, like, from the length of the line, maybe a couple of hours at most.
Okay, that's kind of scarily close, but okay. Okay.
And as a token, and she clicks her nails together, and one of the rats run up to her feet. She lifts it and holds it out to Lavender.
Oh, and she will be like, take it and just hold it close to her heart and start feeding it.
Oh, goodness.
You can have.
Can we
this one.
communicate to you through that?
In a manner, yes.
Okay.
But it only works.
Can I name him?
Short. Sure.
You will be Ratatouille.
Completely confounded by this halfling. Like, what? We're having a serious conversation. What the heck?
I've heard that
I love that.
halflings were a eccentric bunch, but never had real reason
have
to
a-
interact with one.
They are
Halfling folk
fascinating.
have a very childlike sense of wonder and whimsy about them.
Mm.
I'm looking for my uncle who's gone missing.
I hope he isn't in the marshes.
I don't think so.
Right. Well, I can see through this one's eyes and hear through this one's ears, but only at short range.
That's
So-
an interesting trick.
It's how I knew
ask-
there were people here again.
Hmm.
May I know what the purpose of this map is to you?
I'm looking for something important.
To cause harm to others?
No, just protection for myself.
Okay.
Dark times are rolling in.
That hence my questions.
Hmm.
You may be a creature of shadow, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your actions are always in line with the darkness. One would hope. You are still a fair lady after all.
Hmm.
Dangerous and deadly.
Contrary to popular beliefs, not all of us who walk in shadow serve the Dark Lord.
And you don't?
Mm,
At the risk of angering certain powers, no. He was defeated before I turned to shadow. And then someone else came back.
Hmm.
all right.
My are poking where they don't belong.
Can I do an as we've been talking,
Mhm.
like, obviously, she's very old. She doesn't necessarily have a reason to lie. She's been forthcoming with answers to help us try and like actually find this map for her. But I still want to do like an insight check just to gauge like, you know, her like
Mhm.
is she truthful in her intentions for this map, or is that something where like we have to potentially worry about what Narin said about like double crossing or like, her attacking us once we hand it over. Um, I'm assuming that would be an insight check.
Yes, yes, it would be an insight check.
Okay.
Lothar, during this talk, she's talking in Westron for everyone's benefit, but again, her language is really old. Again, not going to attempt that, because that would just sound ridiculous, as English is my third language.
Okay. I can't use that skill because that's intelligence based. So let's hope I roll high. Come on. Ooh, yay,
Yes.
14. That's my highest roll across 2 sessions.
Yay.
That's real shit for me.
Oh no, I feel you. Like,
So
I feel you.
I mean, 14's pretty.
It's pretty good.
I'm just focused on her part about like me asking her specifically if she means to cause harm, and her saying no, it's for protection. She's looking for something to protect herself.
Yes.
So that's the focus of my insight check.
Yeah. So with a 14, she's definitely not telling you everything. Absolutely not. Yeah. She seems to be focusing on the bare minimum information you need.
Okay.
There was also a slight catch when she said for protection. So there's something else to it as well. And with your experience, I'd say that you gather it's probably something that could cause harm, but she doesn't want to use it that way.
Okay, right. Well, my question to her was specifically if she was going to cause harm.
It doesn't seem.
And she said no. She's wanting to use whatever she's trying to find to protect herself, but someone else could use that item to cause harm potentially. Okay, or like whatever. He said something, so I'm assuming it's an item of some kind. But okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So Narin is going to outright ask her at this point, what does someone as powerful as you need protection from?
Oh, you are young, are you not? There are...
I am 120.
You are barely out of the crib.
Also, not as well traveled as some of us.
There are 1,000 different ways the shadow can get its grips into you. There are 1,000 ways that Sauron can return to this world. There are 1,000,000 creatures that could corrupt you from the inside out and outside in.
And which one has you running scared?
Throw a dart at a map and I'll tell you yes. But the one I'm thinking of does not have a name yet.
Well, all the more dangerous.
And I...
How old?
Sorry?
Sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I want protection against that.
How recent is your...
Sorry, go ahead.
No. How recent is your intel on where this map is? Is it within the last few years? Last few months?
She stops for a moment and thinks. Time is such a strange concept. But I'd say it was before the winter. And it's
recent enough that
Yeah.
it could still be in the area you were told.
Yeah, it's currently I'd say it's early summer at this point, with the spring rain still being around, but it's getting warmer.
Right.
It's
I'm
still
just making sure it's not like 100 or
No,
200-year-old information about where some map is, because it's like, okay, well, it could be it could be somewhere completely different in that time.
Yeah,
But as long as it's within like a few months or so.
Yeah, you'd say it's like her saying before the winter, you'd gather maybe 6-7 months ago.
Okay. That's good. That means there's a high likelihood it probably is still near the edge of the forest somewhere.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Good.
I have one last question.
Yes.
If we find this for you and one of us needs aid and you are able to help us, would you do so in return?
If I'm capable, sure. That could be a reward. I am, however, not able to traverse long distances on a thought.
Of course.
And
you are well aware of the darkness around the Mirkwood?
I am. Well, from what I've heard.
Yes.
I'm also quite limited in the hours in which I can travel.
Yes. I imagine sunlight probably doesn't feel very nice.
Not directly, no. I can walk in shadows during the day, but I prefer not to.
Have you considered investing in a parasol?
I tried that. Well, something similar. In my first 100 years, it doesn't work.
Unfortunate.
The sunburn got quite nasty.
A carriage?
That does work, however. It's long.
And she will just pet the rat in her arms, being like,
I can travel during sunlit hours as long as I am in complete shadow. Another gift. Then. Never mind. No. You will find me my map.
We will try.
Will reward you.
Oh, I thought the
Like
rat
we have
was
a
the
name to
reward.
call upon when we come to your home. Oh, sorry. I cut someone off.
I thought the rat was the reward.
For you, maybe.
The rat is a means of communication. Cute, fluffy, edible, but a means of communication.
and she will hold it tight when she says edible because someone was joking about eating the rat earlier.
But you may call me Ravel.
Raval.
My real name is longer and older. You may not call me that.
Of course. It can be dangerous to have people know one's authentic name when on the road.
Names have power, after all.
And they can be very revealing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be revealed.
I tried to ignore it. I tried really hard.
Oh.
And as is my custom on this channel, Psycole, you can have a point of inspiration for that one as we move over to Lofar. And what are you doing, Lofar, during this discussion?
Higher conversation.
So Lofar has probably taken some herbs from his pouch and has been slowly munching on them to try to act as a stimulant to sober himself up quicker.
Yep.
He has then kind of just been pacing slightly backwards and forwards, out of the way, whilst everyone. He understands his role in this little adventuring party. He's primarily there to hit shit. And when the tall people are talking, he'll sit there there'll be this the entire time the conversation is going on. There is this low undercurrent of dwarvish coming out of it, where he's swearing the entire time and just muttering to himself about what's the word I'm looking for? Converting, what's the word? Converting.
Coveting or converting?
Neither of those two words. It's when you're working with someone that you wouldn't want to work with. Anyway.
Like overt?
No, it's
covert is hidden.
No.
consorting.
That's the word. Thank you.
Yeah, consorting. There we go. Yeah.
He's walking around. Yes, consulting. He's wandering backwards and forwards, talking in Dwarvish, about consorting with vampires. He probably would have seen the hand signal about the double cross, but he is playing his part as being the disgruntled dwarf, whilst he's waiting for his cue. Yes, whilst he's waiting for his cue to hit something.
Right. And he's being a stereotype, which is fine in this moment, because clearly his party is trying to avoid a fight.
Yes,
he's not stupid. Like you said, no. He knows his role.
I know my role.
He's comic relief and partial tank.
Yes.
Well.
And then
dangers? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, and then at a certain point, Lavender walks over with Rat, and he stops walking backwards, swearing, and is helping Lavender feed the rat various bits of food that has been stuck in his beard for a while that he is extra.
This is Ratatouille the first.
Ratatouille the first. Wouldn't that be a Ratatouille rather than a Ratatouille?
You only get one conspiration per session.
Ratatouille, I like it.
Ratatouille.
Well, is there anyone else hunting for this map besides you?
As far as I'm aware, no. Just recently came into my knowledge that it existed.
But you said not all of the rats were yours.
No. You are.
They're probably just regular rats.
You're near a trade town.
Sure.
Of course there will be rats.
I don't trust you.
Smart.
Oh my goodness, you can't just say that.
Yes, you can. Out loud.
Well, you can. I can't.
Be plain. It's much simpler.
We all have our different roles, and some of us can say things out loud that others cannot.
And he goes back off to muttering in Dwarvish.
Which,
I think
sadly, I do not speak, but
the tone is probably very clear.
You said
Yeah.
what about my mother?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Dwarvish is very, like, you know when someone's saying bad stuff, even if you don't speak the language. Most languages, you can tell when someone's saying curse words.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if it's hand signs or verbal. Like, you're like, oh, someone's mad, and that sounds like cussing.
And then you have some people
Oh, they-
singing in
yeah.
Dwarvish, and the whole thing sounds like curse words, and you know it's not. Looking at you, Colin McGuinness.
I mean,
nothing.
I like
Fair.
I have German friends, and when they are speaking German, I always think they're mad at someone.
Yeah, I mean, yes. As someone whose first language is technically German, but I don't speak it. Yes.
Yes.
well, you get those very guttural, like,
Yeah.
throaty languages, and you're like, you pissed, bro?
Yes.
No, that's just how I sound.
Right.
Yeah,
And it's
there's
like,
a
"No,
there,
that's just a language."
yeah, there are several jokes Swedes make about our neighbors to the west and east, the way they speak. Like,
Fair.
one of them is a depressed Norwegian always sounds happier than a happy Finn.
You know what? My memory is very, like, there's a lot of distance, but my memory, that totally tracks.
Yeah.
That very much tracks. It's
But
also
yes.
bonkers to me that Finland is a Scandinavian country, but they have a completely, like, different
Yeah.
language from, like Norwegian and Swedish are similar-ish. Like,
Yeah, we
like
can understand each
Icelandic
other.
is similar-ish. Is it Danish? I think is like similar. I
Yeah,
always get
so
confused that
all three
Denmark, right,
languages,
is the other one.
all three
And it's like they look
languages.
very similar, and then you look at
Yeah.
Finnish, and you're like, what the hell happened? What happened? Where
Yeah.
did you get that language from?
So all three countries that are along the Scandinavian mountain
Yeah.
range can understand each other if you speak
Yeah,
slowly.
I wonder why, since
More or less.
Sweden and Denmark decided to have a war and being like, we're gonna take Norway.
And
I wonder
Icelandic,
where our language came from. We had to mix fucking both of you.
Icelandic
understand.
is
Sorry.
basically they kept the old Norse feel to it.
Yeah,
But if they
Yeah.
speak
as close as you can get.
Yeah. But if an Icelandic person speaks real slow, people from I mean I can understand Icelandic if someone speaks really slow or if I read it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's it. Finnish,
yeah.
it's a language tree that doesn't exist anymore.
Right. You're like, y'all are like culturally this like thing, but like your language is so different. What happened?
Yes.
You'd think there'd be similarities to the other four countries.
Nope.
And there's totally nothing. Nothing.
See, this is why I like the
Sounds really
the
pretty when you're
comment.
singing it though.
Well, this
Oh,
is why I
sorry.
like the comment. This is why I like the comment. Statistically speaking, Finland may not, because I believe that they always talk about a 3% variance in world population based on our ability to actually
Yes.
count more, and that basically equates to the population of Finland, or stated population of Finland. So technically and statistically speaking, Finland could not exist.
Anyway, tangents.
Anyway, right.
So,
Tangent.
PhD in languages.
I mean, what?
Neat.
What? Who?
Warm.
Oh,
Uh,
only
Hope
reason
y'all
we
learned
can
something.
understand.
Yes. Okay.
Beep.
All right. After having
Okay.
some discussions with, oh yeah, that's where it went. Ravel and puns, and yes,
Sorry.
Right.
she'll just look around all of you for a moment. She's about Naren's height. So somewhere in between, a little bit shorter
So
than
I remain the
Naren.
tallest
Yes. She's
by a lot.
she's maybe like half an inch shorter than Naren, but
Okay.
she has not been standing still completely
Mm.
this entire time, just moving slightly, twitching a little bit, looking around, eyes searching like floorboards and in the ceiling and along the walls the entire time. And eventually she'll tap the table with a long nail, crack her neck a little bit, and it seems we have an accord. You will try to find the map for me, and I shall reward you when you bring it. Was there any other questions?
Plan adjacent.
Will the rat obey me?
Depends on how nice you are to it.
And she's still feeding it and
It's-
cuddling with it.
It's a rat. Wild animal. You will have to train it if you want to keep it.
And she looks at him and be like,
Ratawani will be excellent.
I'm sure. Like I said, they are useful tools.
So quietly in sorry, I'm getting back to Naren. Quietly in Sindarin to
Well, we're
Rosemary.
standing next to each other. Yes.
yeah, very quietly he's just going to say, I'll bet you 3 gold pieces, but by the end of the week we're up to Ratatouille.
Ooh.
I'll take that. No, I can't take that bet because I agree with you.
You can bet there's a 3.
That's fair, I could. I actually no. I think within a few days the rat will have ran off of its own accord.
Mm.
She can only
and
feed
you
it
can
so long.
see Lavender with tears in her eyes.
You don't know what we're speaking unless you speak Sindarin. You have no idea what we're saying.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I mean, you can still
He
have
wouldn't
tears in
have-
your eyes, but it can't be in response to what we said unless you speak Sindarin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't
And
hurt
which
your
time-
feelings like that, but he is skeptical of your ability to keep that rat, 1, alive
yeah.
while he's got a hawk as a pet, and 2, with you.
Now, I do
Yeah.
have some distance to cover. And other things to do. If you do have
course.
any other questions or inquiries?
You've been very helpful, my lady. We'll do our best to find this
Yes.
map for you.
Well, I can be very generous to those who help, and not so much to those who hinder. On that note, she steps away from the table and not like taking her eyes off you. She's gonna back out of the room.
Hmm
And
I'm gonna watch her do it. I'm not taking my eyes off.
And ooh, hello, welcome on in, Raiders.
Hi.
Ooh.
She backs away out of the room until she is in the hallway, and then you hear this whooshing sound as if someone has kicked up a large pile of dirt or dust. And then 3 of the rats, not Ratawani, but the other 3, just run out into the hallway and disappears out into the night.
Whew.
For now.
Wow.
Oh, are you hurt? You were bleeding a little.
It's just a scratch.
Hmm.
Oh, my skin is crawling.
Well, I'm glad that went as well as I was hoping it would.
Mm.
We still may have to engage her, depending, which I'm sure our dwarven friend would enjoy.
Yes.
But it was not this night, which I'm glad for.
No.
I'm very intrigued by this
And we-
map.
Yes, we have some
Old-
information now.
That's old
Huh.
magic. It sounds like old magic. I'm not versed in it as you are, but that sounds like old magic.
I would be curious about the map myself, though I have no use for it. Regardless of her, what she may be of use as well.
She certainly seemed... I don't know if scared is the right word, but she definitely seemed agitated
Wary.
by something. Yes, as if something might be hunting her or watching her, or she's... something coming after her, or someone coming after her. Perhaps she was not turned with her consent. Perhaps
Well, there
whoever
are very
yeah.
dark things afoot, and dark enough, I would say that even creatures of shadows may be wary.
Yes.
Something's coming. We know that.
Something certainly is growing off.
Makes me ill at ease.
Shall we rest some more? How are you doing, Lavender and Lofar? Are you up for some traveling? Do you want to rest more? It's still dark out. Don't know how much success we'll have finding a map in a dark forest.
I would like for us the best of times. Being in the midnight. Not great.
I don't suspect we're going to experience more danger tonight, since the dangerous thing has left, and she'd have no reason to come back, since we agreed to try and find this map for her.
I do think those of you who need it should finish getting the sleep they need, and perhaps we do a thorough search of this place and then surrounding areas in the morning.
That sounds fair. I can take watch while the rest of you get sleep if you desire.
If you're certain.
Yeah, I'm used to being a little tired all the time. What is happening on the screen? Okay. Ooh, map. Cool.
Shiny.
So I think, sounds like we're all gonna go back to sleep, and I'm gonna take second watch, I guess, at this point? Or have we been talking long enough that it's starting to get light out? Because I think you said it happened very, right after we kind of all rested, right?
Yeah, you started your rest when she arrived, but that was also pretty much in the middle of the night. So I'd say you arrived after dark at this
Yeah.
place, and being like late spring, it would have been, say, you arrived here, but I'd say maybe like 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m., like roughly the equivalent of, and she would have arrived a little after midnight.
Oh, okay.
And it's been like maybe an hour of talking to all together, so it's between 1 and 2 a.m. right now.
Okay, so it's still like, hey, let's go back to bedtime then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he would agree. He would offer to finish his watch first too, and then re-wake you when it's time for second watch. Because he only needs 4 hours.
Not gonna say no to that. It's rare that I get to sleep properly.
Yes, you should get some sleep, and I'll wake you for second watch.
All right.
Before Lavender goes to sleep, she will make a leash for the rat.
Out of what? What
She, believe it or not, she has tools with her.
You're just like sitting there making like a leather. Adorable. I love it.
Yeah, she's like making a little
Cute.
harness, and like while the rat is eating, she's like slowly putting it on nicely, so it doesn't run away.
I love that.
Oh goodness.
And
And
yeah,
then people go to bed.
I would prefer Lavender to have a non-vampire rat if she was going to have a rat, but you know.
Well, you got rid of that rat.
There, we thought it might be a vampire servant. We erred on the side of caution. This one
We know
we
this
know
one
for
is
sure is a
Lavender.
vampire servant rat.
actually, I'm gonna move you guys here real quick.
We know for certain this one is a vampire servant rat. Luckily, she needs very close range to be able to like track us. So
Yes.
that's good, I guess. Okay. Okay, well I guess then Naren is finishing his watch and I'm going back to sleep. For now.
All right. And I
Any clothes out of me.
think that is a good way to take a short break. We'll be back in like 5-10 minutes. Unhydrate,
Yeah.
rehydrate, grab a snack, all that stuff. Let me
Stretch
find.
your legs and arms,
Yes.
backs and butts. Just do a stretch, just do a full body stretch.
Yep. So get some movement into those joints, and we shall be back again. Back gear? Okay, that was okay. We'll be back here again in about 5 to 10 minutes. Yes, get that good stretch in. But where's my music? There's my music.
Music.
So, like, yeah. Take a break. We'll be right back. Bye.
Bye.
Hello everyone, we are currently back, so let's get quickly into the story.
Yeah.
Yay! Alright, after that eventful encounter, you all managed to get, I wouldn't say calm rest, but at least rested enough so that while all of you are still tired, you're not exhausted waking up in the morning. A little bit sore, a little bit creeped out by the events. And the pale rays of sunlight creeping in through the windows. A welcome sight compared to the previous night's events.
Yeah.
Whoever had second watch, would I?
Dummy.
Yes. Could you please roll me a D100?
I'd love to. If I can hold on. Oh, hold on. I can do the Sorry, got excited to roll the dice in the little left part. I was like, wait, I can shorthand it, I think, actually, which would be much easier.
I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, I love my dice. I wish I had a better dice set, but I like this set. It was free. Can't knock a free digital dice set.
I know, right?
59.
59. Let's check. As you're making your rounds in the house, Rosemary, towards the morning when the sun starts shifting to that gray, like steel gray of early dawn, you see something under, like right between the wall and the staircase leading upstairs. A slight glinting of something strange. Something... It's kind of odd you didn't see it before. And upon closer inspection, it looks like it's a finely cut gemstone of some sort. That's just fallen in between the staircase and the wall.
Okay. Can I pick it out?
Yeah.
I would like to pick it out and see what kind of gemstone it is and how big it is.
It's about yay big, about half an inch in diameter.
That's pretty sizable for a farming family.
Yes. Milky white with like a grayish blue pattern in it, like impurities have cut through the stone itself. It has the, like, it's almost like a smoke quartz in look.
Okay.
But if all the smoky bits have grown through to the center of it instead of...
It's like got a big smoky bit in the center versus being kind of spread out through it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not rutilated.
No.
Which is when it's all the stuff is spread out. Okay.
Yeah, no. And it doesn't look like it looks like someone started to cut it because it's like cut on one side, but not all the way through. It's not finished yet.
Okay. I'm just, since I'm technically still on watch, I'm just gonna pocket that for now. And when morning happens and we search the homes, like search the house, I want to see if there's like some sort of like jewel, like are they jewel cutters in this house? Like, is there some sort of like secret jewel cutter stash or something? But right now I'm just gonna pocket it. I don't know how to tell if it has any weird properties to it because this is a low magic setting, so I can't like identify it or anything like that. But it doesn't seemingly give off any weird.
No, it looks like a very unusual stone, which is the way it's colored, and just looking at it, not having expertise in like jeweler's tools and anything, but it looks like whoever was working on it was trying to like center this weird coloration and make it look cool, but that's about it.
Okay.
Ow.
Okay. So, so when you say cut, it looks like it's trying to be like cut into a shape, not like carved into like.
No, it looks like it's been
like you would cut a gem, not like carving it into a figure type of.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's been like you would cut a gem, and
like
it looks like
fit it into something.
Yeah, and they're trying to center it, like I think it's called like the diamond cut, but they're trying to center the discoloration into the middle of it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pocket that and ask my dwarven friend because he knows jewels and things. I'm gonna show it to him when everyone wakes up in the morning.
Speaking of shiny rocks, maybe shiny Mac, Mathrox, check your DMs.
Mm,
I'm gonna keep popping over to the wrong thing. Doop-a-doop-a-doop, bop, bop.
yes.
Okay.
The morning dawns, and you can see that the clouds that have been gathered over the past few days are kind of breaking up with the morning. And from what you can tell, it promises to be a bright and warm day, giving the land a chance to dry up from the incessant raining.
Okay.
Excellent.
Since we're in someone's home,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use like my food. I'm not gonna use their food. But can I actually towards sunrise type morning, actually cook a
Mhm.
meal properly on a proper stove, not wild cooking on the campfire, and cook a breakfast for everybody
there's
on
a
proper. But I'm not gonna use their supplies because that's rude in my book.
but yeah, there's a
Yeah.
there's a full kitchen there. It's stocked with firewood, and you have pots, pans, and everything like that. They even have something that is very rare in these parts. They have a water pump in the kitchen.
Ooh.
So you can
That's
pump water
fancy.
into a tray where you can get your water from, and it will. You guess it's probably a line that's to the well of this place.
Yeah.
And there's just a hole in this trough where with a plug in it, it's just water just runs straight out of it if you unplug it. But they have as far as you can tell, the only place in this house with indoor plumbing. But they still have water in the kitchen.
That's cool. Does it look like the house may have been built around this area because this is where the well would be, or does it just look like? I'm as a player curious because I want you to describe.
There is a small window in the kitchen, and looking out, you can see the well is maybe 5 feet from the wall. So you gather that they probably built the foundations of the house near the well, and then the house has expanded from there.
Okay, that's super cool. That's fancy.
But yes, it is an extremely rare occurrence to have water in the house.
Right. Okay. Well,
that saves someone from going to collect it.
I mean, I'm gonna refill my water skin from it, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm gonna make everyone proper breakfast since we're in a home with a place with an actual stove and kitchen supplies, and so people probably wake to the smell of, I don't know, bacon, eggs, traditional sort of stereotypy adventuring breakfast.
Yeah.
Better than hardtack and dried fruit.
Yeah. Looking in this kitchen, you can find it looks like it's well stocked. I mean, you said you wouldn't take anything, which is fine, but looking through looking for pots and pans and all of that, you find there's a small jar of crisp bread, and there are various cans and tins and stuff like that. Well, not tins, but cans of things.
Canned things, jarred stuff.
Exactly.
Nice. If there's anything that looks like it's obviously about to expire, I will use that, but I won't take anything fresh or jarred stuff or anything.
Yeah.
But if there's anything in my searching for pans and cookware that looks like it's obviously about to expire, but not isn't expired. I'm just
I get you.
If it stays here much longer, it might go gross and then contaminate other stuff. I'll probably add that.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna make a point of using their stuff.
Yeah, no. You do find I'd say you find a small bowl, or a small basket actually, and by small I mean like this big, with 3 apples in it. They don't look like they're about to rot, but you know that kind of wrinkly
They're
look.
wrinkly.
They're a bit wrinkly, which means that they're still edible, and you gather they've probably been kept in a cold storage since autumn, but they're about to go a little bit dry and a little bit nasty.
Chop, cook.
Yes.
Now
Alright.
I want breakfast.
And
Now I want the food that I'm cooking, and I can't eat any of it in real life. I can eat the bacon, but not the eggs.
Yes.
Cool.
The rest of you wake up to the nice scents of cooked breakfast and bright light of sun coming in through the windows. And
Waking up, making sure the rat doesn't run away.
the rat is currently sleeping under what could generously be called a couch. Just face down, just as soon as you wake up, opens an eye, looks at you, and just goes back to sleep again.
Oh, come now. Rat one. Breakfast.
Looks at you again, just he closes his eyes, just nope. I'm good here.
Take some food out of her rations a little bit and be like,
Come on.
Give me another animal handling check.
oh, this
I'll
this
try
is going so horrible.
I believe in you.
It says
As a
an
player,
next
as a
one.
character, I hope you fail. But
Yeah.
as a player, I believe in you.
Wes, show me. So mean. I love it. But
It feels that I have +4 and I can't roll above like a
Goodness gracious.
Rat looks at you, looks at the leash, twitches his nose, gives a small squeak, and just nope. Refuses to come out from under the couch.
Let it sleep for a while. Come and eat.
upset Ratawani.
Rat, I want to. I still love that.
Okay.
Cat, don't
Mm.
touch my yarn.
Alright.
Lothar,
Is
yes.
your bird likely to cause problems with this rat?
Oh, more than likely.
Given Lavender is so enamored by the rat, that would be a terrible.
I will try to keep his talons out of her pet. But I cannot make promises. If my hawk gets hungry or that thing scurries about too much, I cannot be held responsible for what happens.
Right. Well, in that case, and he starts pulling various different little bits of tools out of his back, out of his kit. He's got like this tiny little jeweler's anvil kind of like thing, and he's got some loose bits of chainmail rings, and he basically starts like he kind of goes to the fire and starts putting some of the bits of metal in, like that, and effectively he starts smithing with his smithing tools a set of rat chainmail armor.
I love that. I love that.
This is a one-hit dice creature, you guys.
Yeah, I know.
Only off the first chance it gets or get eaten by something. My goodness. Also, hilariously
if it has
adorable.
an AC of 30.
Well, that's true.
Yes.
That's true. It probably is a little buff because vampire servant rat, but you know, who knows? It's still a likely one-hit dice creature because it's
Yes.
it's not like a monstrous rat or anything like that.
The funny part is that Familiars, as far as I remember, have a 1d4 hit points.
Yeah, it was traditional
Yeah.
familiars, yes.
Yes.
But I think like animal servants for like vampires and things like may work a little bit differently depending on what like rule sets you're using because
Yeah.
they're not like traditional familiars, but they still aren't very weak.
Yes.
I think
Um,
Hawk has like 1 hit point, so you know.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember playing a wizard with a lizard familiar and half the party trying to murder my lizard.
Why?
What?
I don't know. I mean, they didn't like my
That's why you-
wizard, so...
This is why you just have find familiar, because if it dies, it just goes back into the ether.
Yeah, I had find familiar, thankfully, so I wasn't too fussed about it. But it was still like,
Uh,
all right. Still costs a lot of money to get the bastard back. But yes.
Lopar, I found something you would be interested in looking at when you're done making small rat chain mail.
What did you find?
And I'll take the gem out of my pocket. I found this, and it's very odd. It was between the wall and the staircase.
Well, that's a rather unusual
Very
location to keep a
unusual.
gem.
Yes, it's. My knowledge is very limited, but it looks like someone is cutting it to center this black mass in it. But you're sort of the expert on these things, so I thought you might want to take a look at it. Or keep it. I don't know. It's probably worth
Sure.
something.
Let me take a look at it then. Can I kind of like appraise the gem, what it might be worth, and like what it may be at all?
Yes, so what you can do is give me a wisdom or intelligence check using your tools. Camera?
Watch it be completely fake and just a total like red herring. That would be really funny. I don't think you did that, but that would be hilarious. It was like, nah, it's just a fucking gem.
How do you roll?
You add, you roll an intelligence or
Also,
intelligence or wisdom, and
got
then
your-
add your proficiency bonus.
Oh, okay, cool.
Also, if you want help, I've got jeweler's tools proficiency as well. So
So it'd be 17 plus 3, so a dirty 20.
Looking at it, it
Oh, that's a saving throw. Sorry.
yeah, it's the same throw. So yes.
8 plus 3, so 11. No brain.
Still better.
With your knowledge of gems and such, you guess this is some form of opal.
Mhm.
But you've never seen an opal with this type of coloration before. Moving it slightly, you get that kind of iridescent rainbowy color that opals tend to have, but very, very faint. And you've never seen a opal with that kind of coloring, like the black coloring in it.
Mhm.
And while you can identify that they're trying to make it into a diamond cut, you have no idea why someone would diamond cut an opal.
It's an intriguing little gem. Definitely an opal of some sort, although I've never seen one quite of this coloration. Why on earth they're trying to cut it the way they're cutting it? No idea. Probably worth keeping and having a look at later.
It's yours to keep. I have no use for it.
Very well. And he kind of snaffles it away into one of his pockets.
All right. breakfast sorted and the morning progressing, what would you all like to do? You said you were searching the...
Naren is going to start searching the house to see if he can scrounge up a map.
Yes.
That map. See if it's
doubt
anywhere.
I doubt that's going to be that easy to find, but we should search nonetheless if everyone wants to sort of split up.
Yes.
Or we determined there's not a basement in this house.
No, there's no basement in this house. It
There's
seems
no
that
basement. Okay.
all their storage that you've managed to find is either in that extra room upstairs or in the
Okay.
barn.
Right. Yeah, we'll search that next. Let's search the house first. Cool. Oh, you mentioned that room downstairs has it. Oh no, we opened the chest. Never mind.
Good point.
That was a
Yep.
big chest. So I suppose we all grab a room and search individually, or do we want to search one room together to increase our chances?
I'm good either way.
I'll search low.
Alright. Well, anyone who wants can either, so this will give you different information. If you can either do a perception check, which is just scanning the room from where you're standing, seeing if there's anything weird about a space, or if you can notice like shifting in floorboards or things like that, or you can do an investigation check, which is basically like tearing a mattress apart. That would be an investigation. So you will get different information depending on what you want to do. So.
Naron is going to go through the place with a fine-tooth comb. As
Same.
such, he has rolled a 26 investigation check.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to do the same. I'm gonna focus on places the short people can't see or get to very easily.
Okay.
Because I'm so tall, I definitely have like an advantage of like if I need to like quick pull myself up in a weird corner or on a weird
definitely.
shelf or
And also
something
being
like that. So I'm gonna
being 6'6",
well,
you can't stretch in here
Woo!
without your hands just going punk into the ceiling. You can get like here, no problem, but if like a full body stretch, no, not happening.
Yeah, I can stand up straight, but I can't like stand up hand to So 30, 20.
Nice.
But that's where my focus is going to be on investigating. Is like the places that are hard to see for everybody else.
All right. Okay, let's start with Lofar.
Okay, actually.
You, Lofar, you try to look around, but the sunlight is definitely too bright, and your friends are definitely a little too loud, and the rat is moving very loudly, skittering around, and just even the sunlight is loud at this point. So someone's very hungover, yes. But scanning through the rooms, you were saying are you staying on the bottom floor or top floor, or where are you going?
So he'll have searched at like a lower height. He'll have done, given his score, he's probably gone through the rooms really quickly because he just wants to get back and finish making the ring mail for the rat.
Yeah.
So he's more of a, I've just quickly run around the house, had a quick look at everything, got a low level. I don't know really what I'm looking for. I'm really hungover. I don't. I just go and sit down. So.
You just know we're searching the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I've been told to search. I have searched. I have done a typical man thing. I've looked with my eyes and not.
Yeah. So everything.
Yes, I've had a boy look.
The one thing you do find in your search of the rooms is a few remains of willow bark in your pocket. That's about it. Lavender, you have a little bit more luck with your perception. Looking around, you do find that there are stuff that has fallen through the floorboards over the years. You find what looks like a small carved wooden horse behind one of the beds that has just fallen behind and just been left laying under the bed. And after a while, you find yourself in that storage room on the second floor, looking around. There's definitely been some shuffling around of the crates and bags and baskets that are there. Almost like it's moved a lot. Like, while being a storage, people have gone through here and looked for things often. Like, the dust has been removed from the floor by bags and stuff shuffling around. And there's a distinct discoloration in several spots that have the shape of a crate or a basket. Lithuriel, looking at the tall, high places in the investigation the area, you do find that there is a number of small knickknacks that have been just pushed in the rafters in several places, as if they're trying to hide stuff. You find a number of coins just hidden under, like between the next floor and the support beams. They're
Okay, gotcha.
yeah, so it's like each on the bottom floor you have the support beams that go across where the next
Yeah,
floor
you
is
have
laying
the-
on.
Right, and they're not like flush. I mean, not in this kind of setting. They're not flush. There's going to be gaps and stuff.
Yeah, there's tiny gaps in between, and in several of those places you find various coins, copper, silver. You even find a gold coin in a corner. There's tiny bits of like jewelry, a couple of rings, and a necklace that seemed to be made out of silver, and a bunch of papers with various seals on them from different kingdoms and cities.
I would like to look through those papers at some point. That's curious. I'm not going to take their stuff. They could be hoarding, just in case for hard times, hoarding stuff around the house.
Yes,
But those
absolutely.
papers are definitely interesting.
But you do find like also on the second floor there's a similar thing in the rafters, and like there's a little bit like you could move a bit of the ceiling in the washroom on the second floor. You can move a piece of the ceiling, and there is like a chest, like a small wooden box with a lock on it that has been hidden up there.
Not going to take it. I don't know that they got these through nefarious means. They could be just squirreling away stuff for a horrible harvest so that they can have things to sell for food, But yeah, I do want to look at the papers, but I'll let you finish the sort of investigation, perception, searching the house
Yes.
bit.
Absolutely. Naron, with a 26, I am very tempted to say that you find a comb and then you comb the whole place, but no.
What do your elven eyes see?
Looking at
Sorry.
like everything, seeing the discoloration on the floorboards, and you've noticed there's definitely something off with like at first glance this place looks like a normal run-of-the-mill homestead, and then you start looking closer at pots and pans. They're made out of very nice materials. And then you look at the seemingly ordinary quilt on a bed, and it is very fine thread. And then after a while you realize that everything in here, while it looks completely like mundane, completely like what's the word I'm looking for?
Normal?
Yeah,
Non-magical?
normal. It's not magical at all, but like you know.
Plain?
Yes, plain. Thank you. It looks plain, but upon closer inspection, everything is of high quality.
Okay.
This place is strange.
And following Lavender in searching the pile of stuff, opening crates, opening baskets. Each basket is very well made, but a lot plainer than a lot of the other stuff. But opening it, you find fine fabrics. You find, again, on a cursory glance, looks completely plain. But touching it, it's very well made. And eventually, as you're digging through this huge pile of stored goods, you find a number of map cases, those round, long, and they are made out of exquisite leather.
I may have found something.
I also found some things
Hmm.
that are curious.
These are curious in the nature of
Um,
their map cases. Sorry, go ahead.
Lethul and Naron, because you rolled over 20, both of you remember you're sitting on the East Road. Bree is sitting on the trade hub of this region. And banditry is very common.
Hmm.
And these people are bandits, aren't they?
It's very possible. What did you find?
Map cases. I'm going to look in them, see if I can't find this map.
And oh, yes, Lavender.
She will basically just be like, I think they moved a lot around. Especially in the storage room.
Alright. Naron, bringing the map cases with you. You find 5 in total, and all of them look, say with a 26, all of them look, like the cases themselves look amazingly well made. And let me actually check something real quick. And one of the map cases has the silver tree of Minas Tirith on it.
Well, this is a long way from. I believe that's a long way. This is a
Yeah,
long
it's
way
outside
from
of the
where
world.
from where it originated, and he's going to pop that thing open.
It's, from the looks of it, it looks like a trade map of Gondor. With all the major cities and homesteads and settlements drawn out, and it's very fine quality parchment it's made out of, and whoever created it Rosemary, you had the cartographers, right?
I do. Yes.
Yeah. Looking at it, this
I know
map.
map.
Yes, this map was made by a master cartographer.
Can I get a sense of how, like, is it a recent trade map or is it like old, like an older, like,
From what you can
is it made
tell,
on like old paper versus newer paper?
the parchment
whatever.
isn't that old. It rolls and unrolls. Like you can roll it up and roll it back without it crinkling, so it's pretty new.
Okay.
But from like looking at it, like quickly, not being too familiar with that region of the world, you'd say that's maybe not 5 years at most.
Okay. It's also very uncommon for people to travel from that way to this way,
Yes.
or vice versa. Like, even like the rangers of the like us rangers of the north don't go that far because there's other rangers that are down there.
Exactly.
Like
So
we have the south and the north, so there's like that would be weird. It's weird to see that here.
yeah, knowing how weird that is and how difficult it is to travel, you would guess there's probably a merchant who had this map, or a merchant caravan even, because traveling in a caravan is safer. Not safe, but safer.
Safer, yeah. Curious. Perhaps these people aren't as farmerly as one would suspect. Can I look through the papers since we're looking at the maps? You want me to make a separate roll to like look at because you said the papers have like seals on them, so they're like official formally things, and I want to know like what's kind of, I'm not going to go through each one individually, but I kind of want to like glance what kind of papers they are.
With a quick
I can
look.
certainly...
No. If looking through the papers, what has been saved, most of them, the seal has not been cracked, but has been broken anyway. You know, like how you just push a little knife under
you
it
like
and
that
just
gentle breaking of a seal without like... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, most of them has been opened that way, and it seems like it's, for lack of a better word that I can come up with right now, it looks like passports, like trade permissions.
Okay.
And
yeah, I'm gonna do my best. Like, since they're already like open, I'm not. Like, there's no reason I have to necessarily be careful, but I am gonna still be careful not to like crack anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a like identification document. So like, would I recognize like some of the seals? Like, is there also a silver tree seal? Is there,
there is two of the papers have that, like the official seal of Gondor on it.
Which I would know what that is for sure.
Yes.
I may not be royalty, but I would know what that is for sure.
But it, like, most people recognize that the tree symbol. It's like, oh, that's Gondor.
Yeah.
But there are also from like, there's one which is kind of rare to see because hobbits don't really trade with outsiders, but there's one that basically says Mikkel Delving on the seal itself. And it says that it has given one of the tall folk permission to trade in the settlement.
Curious. But they're all just vague enough to like get a... Like, they're not like they're just vague enough.
They're just vague enough.
Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah. So it's just vague enough so that anyone could basically pick them up. If you match the general description, yeah, you're fine. A couple of them have names attached, but in a world where photography does not exist, all right. You can pretend to be anyone if you match the general description.
Yeah, fair. Like fair-haired, blue-eyed person. Oh, yeah, you're a fair-haired, blue-eyed person. Sure, you're busy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like only the very rich had paintings made out of them. So, But
I
it
was gonna say
seems
or elves, but elves tend to be kind of wealthy in a variety of ways.
yeah.
Okay.
And in the third map case that you open, a surprisingly plain case among the others. Like it's still extremely well made leatherwork on the case itself. You do find what looks like very weathered fabric. And as you like unroll it, it's empty at first, and then you see spindling roads just.
Oh, stuff. Like okay, stuff starts appearing.
Yes, it starts like writing itself, and you see at the center of it. At the center of it is the homestead you're in, and then it starts drawing all over it, and things start appearing. There are no real like names or anything like it on this map, but you see like just northeast there's a cave there. To the west there is a little bit of a creek that you didn't like, no one would think of putting on a map really, because it's maybe like a foot wide, but you see a tiny little line where it would be. And to the east the you have the marshes, and like a broader line going across that you as a cartographer would know that's probably a path through the marsh right there.
Right. Yeah, like a safe path.
Yeah.
Can I compare that part of the marsh area? Can I compare that with the one with the same area on my map and see if the path is the same?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I would think that I would have that too, because I travel so much. I've probably gone through the marshes.
Yeah.
I know the same.
So, comparing the maps, the one on your map is slightly no wait. The one on the Wayfarer's map seems to cross yours in several places, but it's always a little bit off.
Okay. Huh. Well, I will. Rosemary will turn to Naran. Could this be the map that she's looking for? Because that's suspiciously easy.
Looks like it.
Also, I'm not quite sure. You're right, these people could be bandits. They could also be genuine traders. But they have a lot of...
Why would they pass themselves off as farmers?
That is fair.
That sounds like a deception to me. Now, no, not all deceptions mean that a person is untoward, but...
They are on the perfect crossroads area. But some of this... There is not a lot of easy travel from the south to this region. I mean, we don't even stay much in contact with our brethren to the south because of the dangers in traveling such long distances.
Is unusual.
Lavender.
Are they speaking normally this time?
Oh, yeah. We'd be speaking.
Yeah.
There'd be no reason. Like, we're all searching the house. They're,
Yeah.
like, speaking secret if we're speaking at normal volume.
Yeah, no. He was only speaking Elvish, basically, to not hurt your feelings, as he was teasing you a little bit.
Yeah, we were speaking hushed tones.
Oh, get your claws out of me, Kelly. That hurts. Sorry.
So she will basically look back and forth between you as you discuss. Having dragged her rat with her, most likely.
Yes, yes.
Does that mean that the farmers hided the map? Or does it mean that
They
they
could
didn't
have.
know that the map was here?
They might not have known.
Yes.
I don't
It's
know how
likely they
long a
probably don't
vampire
know
lives.
some. Sorry.
I don't know how long a vampire lives.
Well,
Forever.
ostensibly forever. I'm sure there are ways to kill them, but
Mm.
she was already immortal, and now she's extra immortal, or perhaps even more fragile in some ways because there's more ways to kill her. I don't know how that works.
I mean,
That's
are there
very-
more ways to kill her or fewer? I mean, obviously the
That's
sun,
fair.
but
That's fair. She can never go home. That must be a very lonely existence.
yes, I wouldn't like it. But she seems to be doing what she can. And I'd like to believe that not all things of darkness are necessarily evil. So,
Well, none of my people would still exist if we were all walking with darkness.
mm,
But the question now is, what do we do with all these things we found? I don't necessarily want to fight those people, but these are clearly, more than likely, ill-gotten gains. And who knows if they've harmed the people they took them from. I mean, you can rob someone and that's untoward, but murdering them for their stuff is even worse.
good point. I'm going to look around and see if there's maybe a ledger of where they got these things and how. Somewhere.
All right. Give me an investigation or perception check.
Gather some proof. Yeah. He was saying that, and then he's going to actually do that investigation.
I had a real dark thought just now, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to actually follow it or not.
That is a 28.
Holy shitballs.
So basically, yeah, just looking for proof of what they're doing here is what he's doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Ledger, documentation, something.
Some sort of keeping track of their goods.
Yes.
Yep.
Maybe a diary, something.
You do find, I'd say with the 28, it does take you maybe half an hour looking through every nook and cranny you haven't already found stuff in. But eventually you get this idea into your head. It's kind of strange, but you, having looked everywhere else, you get down on your knees and look inside like the bottom shelf of the pantry, moving a couple of sacks aside, sacks of flour, and in the floor there is a loose floorboard, and there you find a ledger.
Yeah, I think he goes, aha, and goes to stand up and belts his head on the bottom shelf of the pantry. Sort of shakes it, just ow.
That checks
Watch your
out.
head.
A little late for that.
I know.
And he's just going to hold it up for someone to grab us. He's scrambling back to his feet.
Lofar, what are you doing?
Once they found the map, Lofar would kind of come over to it, and he would like to kind of inspect the map for it is magical in some way, given that it appears to be doing, showing the local area in a lot more detail than normal.
Yeah.
And I'm in two minds as to whether or not I should then be one of his features, which is called Runecraft, which, if it is magical, I do an old lore check and I can learn everything about it depending on the type of magic.
Yep, that would
magical artifact it may be.
That would absolutely
Do
fit.
it.
Yes.
Do it. Do it.
What I'll do is I will just.
Well.
I will use my inspiration.
Yeah.
Ouch. That was a damage roll, though.
Yeah, it really rolls it as a damage roll, part of your actions, but it's not. It's just a D20, and depending on what type of artifact, magical item it is, the DC is either 10 for marvelous, 15 for wondrous, 20 for famous. That's a bit better.
Nice. So you inspect the map, and it is extremely faint and very hard to see. But you do, because you're already squinting slightly, because it's so bright. Along, on the thicker lines, it's easier to see, but each line is a series of runes. Each thing that is drawn on this looks like it's just runes in a pattern, if you look really, really close at it. And then you see along the, in the corners of each bit of this is a different rune that has to do with finding the path and revealing secrets.
Okay.
And I'd say with the 16, it is magical, definitely. It's created by spinning these runes in a certain pattern. And it's almost like, again, at first glance, it looks like a perfectly normal map area, but there are two spots that are not filled in at all. It seems like it's avoiding those two. One is, you see where it's drawn out to be like the mouth of a cave, but the hillside, the hill is not drawn.
Okay.
And then out in the marshes, you see the squiggly lines of marsh and some trees, and then just, because this is a fabric, a off-white kind of fabric, it's just off-white. There's nothing drawn there at all.
Is there anything on my map if we compared the two? As I watch him do this and my map is still out and I'm comparing while he's doing this?
On your map, you see
Mine's just regular.
You see the cave, the indication of a cave, and then you see forest drawn, where it's blank on the Wayfarer's map. It's just trees. And out in the marshes, you have, where it's blank on the Wayfarer's map, there is what looks like a grove on your map.
Interesting. Two areas of trees on mine, but on yours they're blank.
Yes.
Rosemary. Rosemary, could you please give me a old lore check?
Sure. Is this one that you lore feature, or is it just old lore by itself?
I didn't hear that word cut out.
Sorry. Is it an old lore that also uses my folklore feature, or is it just old lore by itself?
I'd say folklore. It has to do with what rangers would know.
Okay.
Can I give you inspiration for that?
Sure.
Well, I already have inspiration, so.
Oh,
This is Rhymes of Lore inspiration, so you can roll a d8.
Oh, the D8 one? Okay. Yes. Okay, so if this is my feature, that means I have proficient. I'm proficient in it, and I add double my proficiency bonus, so I'm adding 6 plus. It's an
Plus, if you
intelligence.
need it, you can roll a d8.
So I'm adding
Otherwise, you've got
7. Well, no, hold on. I'm considered proficient, so it would be a +4, and then I'm adding double my proficiency bonus. Oh no, I see what it says. Never mind. Okay, so it's a +7. I got it. Okay.
Yep.
So because I got to do this manually, because otherwise it won't roll properly. And then how does the rhymes one work? I have to say I'm rolling the d8 before we see the total, right? Or do I just?
No, you can roll the total and then decide after you've rolled the total, but before Adana says whether it's a success or fail.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, whoopsies. I
Oh,
can type that
kidding,
down.
please.
Okay, let's see what that is. And you know what? Just to be extra, I'm gonna roll the d8 anyway.
all right.
Just because I want all the knowledge. But that didn't help. I got greedy. 19 though.
19 is still a lot, and you know,
but I wanted to be
from...
extra because I'm a nerd.
Yeah, you know from stories and having, I guess you have traveled through the area from time to time, but that grove, like the Midgewater marshes, you don't want to travel there if you don't have to.
I hate
Things have died there, and they don't stay dead.
Nope.
But the grove and the grove that you know of, that you can't compare it, when you compare it, that grove is one of the few safe places in the marshes.
Mm-hmm.
And it is kept by, I'd say, the equivalent of dryads.
Mm-hmm.
And getting to it is a pain. You have to wade through the marshes, and even comparing the two maps, the relatively safe path does not pass near it.
No.
But it being gone from a map that is supposed to show the surface as it is strange. You don't really know. As far as you know, with the 19, there's nothing there that would shield it from anyone who wants to see it. It's on your map, and
I'm sure I probably stayed at it from time to time when I, if I need to, because crossing the marshes sucks, but crossing it at night sucks more.
Yes.
I will relay all that information.
All right.
Query.
Yes.
I'm capable of crafting magical items. Looking at that, just with that knowledge, because I've got handcraft, I can make weapons and armor and stuff that are magical. I can imbue them with magic. Looking at that magic, that ability to make magical things, and looking at this map, could I determine whether maybe it's broken?
Oh, I didn't think of that. I was thinking you.
Or something is hidden?
Sure. I'd say using that ability, I'd say roll me an intelligence check. Actually, what would that be? Let me see. What are the...
I was thinking you were going to want to make a copy of it that's also magical, but your idea is way better. Yeah, interesting.
I don't think I can do quite that, but I can make weapons that crit on 19s and 20s, or plus
Right.
1 weapon, that kind of thing. Armor that has plus
Yeah.
1 AC, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I looked at all that when I was
Oh
considering
wait,
if
I know
wanted
what that
to
would
do
be.
or not.
Uh,
I was like, that's cool, and
There we
also
go.
seems complicated.
Please roll me a travel check using your proficiency.
So what's a travel check? I don't.
It's a
have
wisdom.
that.
It's a wisdom.
So wisdom check, but a +4 instead of a +2.
Yes.
have a- Proficiency?
Because of the
So I'm
feature
gonna
thing,
roll
I'm letting
I'm gonna
Terris
roll a
add the
straight
proficiency.
D20.
What?
I'm going
Yeah.
to roll a straight D20. I rolled a 5. So that would be a 9 all up.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a 1 wisdom. See, that's why it's a 4. Okay. I was like, the math isn't mathing. Our proficiency bonuses are 3. How do you have a...
Because
Plus
messengers get half proficiency.
Oh, that's...
No,
No,
we don't.
proficiency...
No, messenger. No, I've got a
Because
+2 to wisdom. That
Oh, okay.
why? I've got a 14 in.
But we're level
Wisdom.
5. Shouldn't your proficiency be +3?
Yeah.
Oh, so how do one do that? That would
So
be
you
a
have a
10.
10 total.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just like, the number seems off.
You're not
Looking at my
in.
initiative.
Yes. So, you're not entirely
Can't
sure
use
how.
fire myself, can I? I can't use Rhymes of Lore on myself, can I?
I don't think so. I would say in the ability, but this is not a lore check. This is just
No.
how does map work?
Fair, that's really what it is.
And it seems like you're not entirely sure how this map works. What you can tell with a 10 is it's old. The magic is old.
Forest is old.
Like really, 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 really old. It's not elven magic. And it seems like, from what you can guess, because I use Slidy's information thing, what you can guess, these areas might be hidden. But you're not sure.
Areas might be hidden, so for some reason a magical map does not understand them.
You don't really know.
Possibly if someone doesn't know, if someone is looking for something specific, whatever is there is being protected, so it would just show up as something regular on a regular map. And you need this map to know, oh, there's something important there.
So it's the magical map that isn't showing the places, right? It's the magic map that's not showing those
Yeah.
that has the blank spots.
Sorry, I yawned right as you were talking, so I didn't hear that. But yeah, yes, it's the magic map that does not show it.
This is strange.
You said the map is fabric? Is it like parchment? Is it like vellum type fabric, or is it like leather fabric, like goat skin? I mean, I can make a check for that for sure, but like
touching
that's weird to have a map on fabric.
Yeah, touching it feels like a thick linen type.
Okay. Huh.
You're not entirely sure what it is. It's not slippery like silk. It's not coarse like it's slightly coarse, and it doesn't really feel like cotton or wool. So you guess it's probably some form of linen or similar. Very finely woven.
Yeah.
And seems to have been holding up for a long time.
And you said it's not of elven make, right?
No.
So something else made this. Does it
Yeah,
look
I was
like
gonna
it's
say-
the...
Sorry?
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, whilst I was staring at the runes, was the runes like an older tongue of Dwarvish? So is it like a Dwarvish make?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
No, I'd say with your knowledge, you would know that no, they're not dwarvish. You're not entirely sure what it is,
Mm-hmm.
but and you can't read them. But you can clearly see like they're shaped like runes. Like if we look at a rune stone, you can see writing, but you can't just read it unless you know. Futhark.
Yes.
Yeah. Fair.
Are we
So-
is anyone familiar with the script?
I'd say what languages do everyone speak?
Sindarin and Western.
Okay.
I also have Common Sign, but that is not going to help in this situation.
Yeah.
Cozdal and Westrum, because Cozdal is Dwarvish.
The only helpful thing would be my folklore to see if I recognize it, but I don't. But I'm imagining with my roll that would have come. Well, I wasn't actually focused on that.
No, you weren't.
Runecraft, so I can read and write runic inscriptions.
All right. Looking at really looking at it.
I think I actually need to give you this because it might be important.
So
I'm just gonna screenshot it.
Lothar, Rosemary, and Naron. Any one of you who wants, or all three of you, it doesn't matter. It's up to you guys. Who wants can roll me an old lore check.
Well, I have a plus. Well, if it's with my ability, I have a +7. So if it uses my feat, if I can use my feature, I'm rolling a +7, so I definitely roll. If not, I'd rather help someone.
I think I've also got. Let me see.
But I think
I do have proficiency.
It wouldn't use your feature, but it would use your cartographer skills. You would add old lore plus your proficiency. Again,
I'd be 4. I'd be rolling a +4, which is not nothing. It's better than a +1.
Yeah.
But I would rather.
+7 as well. So let me roll.
I would
D20.
rather be giving someone advantage and helping them with my knowledge. Is Lothar are you gonna?
I will assist because
Okay.
Old Lord's an intelligence roll.
That would be
Well, we
21.
both can't give you advantage. We can't get double advantage from both.
No, one of you can. But Naron with a 21, and really focusing on the text, each of the snaking patterns and roads and yep.
I was gonna say, if one of us is helping, wouldn't Naron get another roll with advantage, or just to see if you roll higher.
Yeah, I can roll that with
It's
advantage.
21 is still good, but what if you roll a nat 20?
Would you believe I rolled the exact same number twice?
It's meant to be.
Yeah, but yeah, looking at it, it looks like the runes that make up this writing seems to talk about revealing the hidden and all that, but it also you look at the text, the runes that are written that make up the drawing of the marshes. It talks about wetlands and things that live in there, and similar things all across it. The forest talk about trees and growth and like all that kind of stuff. And with a 21, you read these over and over and then it clicks. These are human runes. These are, but old, real, like first age runes.
When
But
humans were babies.
yes,
Yes, human runes.
Right. That's
Ancient human runes.
probably my forefathers' forefathers. Forefathers. Or I don't know how many forefathers to go back.
and no,
Probably more than 4.
Thanks for
Nee.
that. I see what you did.
Mhm.
I mean, that's definitely lost to, I don't know, any human folks that would know how to do that anymore. We don't even know. That's very, very old.
You humans,
Yes.
you live such a short time.
Well, we live a little bit longer than most,
Yes.
but eventually we will perish also.
I just mean that it's unfortunate that the makers of this, we have no answers. They're long dead.
Well, and none of it was either lost to time or did not get passed down, so it died out. I suspect it was probably lost in the sea at some point.
Unfortunate.
I'd say with a 21 reading these, Naron, you would have in passing in libraries growing up have heard mention of the Edan.
Okay.
And
my nerd brain right now is fucking exploding.
and
I did not underestimate how much of a Tolkien nerd I am.
and
I told you I'm a Tolkien nerd. Oh my god, my brain is exploding.
And
wow.
While you don't know, like, you can read runes because of your ability, but with the 21, you have seen writing like this, never seen magic like this, but from learning histories, you know that the Edan could have powerful mages among their ranks, given from their past, and some slivers still remain to this day, but their descendants are rare and far between.
Perhaps if we could find the descendants of the Edan, we could determine more about this artifact.
That feels near impossible, and I don't give in to hopelessness very often. That's so far back. Rivendell might have knowledge, but that might be the closest repository of information that might have more knowledge. We could.
In any case, I'm a little hesitant to just hand this map over.
Yes.
Now that I've seen it and understand at least partially its origins.
Well, we did say it would take time to find the map, and it could be possible for us to investigate the cave location since it's closer. That is also a hidden spot. And see what we find there. It might give us more information on the Marsh area.
Yes.
we could also potentially, if she knows what item she's looking for, she might know if it's in which location it is, and we could travel to the other location and see what's at that one. I am not necessarily a fan of option 2, but it is an option.
Definitely. And this is a little bit sneaky on my part. I may be able to make an item that, well, nothing like this could potentially well, you know.
Well, I can certainly mark these now that we know where these are, and we're comparing my map, which is consistently being updated. We can copy those locations and put them on ours and be able to get to them without this map, because we know where they are. We don't know what's there. We know that they're special, and I will mark those locations on my map as well. Like I will go like, oh, these are important locations on my map. So if we do decide to like give the map over, like we can still figure it out. Like how to get to those locations.
Yeah.
So I will mark it on my.
I do think that we
Add
should
a character
take a look
will mark it on mine.
Yeah, I do think we should investigate this further.
Yes. What did the two of you think?
I mean, I don't know runes and stuff.
Do you want to investigate though? These places? These special places?
I mean, I would love to investigate new places. It's an adventure.
And she feels like the rat nibbling at her, and she's like,
I don't think the rat likes me.
That's possible.
Something that is a creature that has another master can never truly be yours.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a wild animal, so it's not going to be completely capable of not having its instincts no matter how much you train it. And we did say we would help you get a proper pet, like a ferret, or maybe another rat, but something that isn't a wild rat or doesn't have another master.
Okay. But I'd like to investigate other places, but
and she will hold the rat away from her.
What will the vampire lady think?
She won't be pleased, I'm sure.
No. But we have some time, depending on which location we would choose. We do have some time. We said it would take a little bit for us to find it, since she only had so much information to give us.
Yes.
And I don't think she's close enough to hear or see through the rat right now. And I will, like, pointing at what she said was like near her where she sleeps, I'm assuming. Like, that's a couple hours away. She alluded to having to be much closer than a couple hours distance. But good precaution.
Actually, Rosemary, give me a wisdom check.
A wisdom check?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no.
I accidentally hit saving throw last time.
Wisdom check using your cartographer's skill.
Oh.
So wisdom plus your proficiency.
Oh, okay. Cool. Oopsies. Sorry. I have too many things. Crap. Did I just speak out of turn and actually not... Did I just speak out my ass? Let's see. Oh. Damn. 22. At the highest I've rolled.
Looking
far.
at the map where she drew the line on your map, and then looking at something just clicks in your mind, and you look over at the Wayfarer's map, and her
Yeah.
lair, that area she drew to, is not visible on the Wayfarer's map.
But it's not. Is it one of the hidden spots, or
Yes.
is it just not like it's one of the hidden spots?
Yeah.
So it'd be the hillside one because
Yeah.
the marshes are much farther away.
Oh yeah, it's the hillside one.
Interesting. Her area that she pointed to on my map of where she's at is that hidden spot near the cave on the Wayfarer's map.
Huh.
So what she needs is the spot in the marshes because that is it would make sense because that's basically one of the very few safe spots to stay in the marshes. It's also incredibly hard to get to, but it's incredibly safe. You can actually sleep without having to have a watch, which is unheard of in that area, especially at night. I'm hesitant to remove such a protection from such a dangerous spot.
Understood.
Alright.
Hmm.
What would you like to do?
I mean, when do
Couple
we...
old things. But sorry.
No, sorry, I was breathing heavily. My bad.
No, you're fine.
So, are we going?
I suppose we could.
Do we have to travel by what we all now know is her lair or at least around the area she says? Do we have to travel by that area to get to the marshes, or can we like go around it?
No, so
Because I'm assuming that
yeah. So where you think where the hidden area is with the cave is northeast, and the grove in the marshes is east. So
Yeah, okay.
you wouldn't have to even pass the lair, or that
Okay.
region, to get to the grove in the marshes. You could just cut east.
Completely go back. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Get off.
my vote is to investigate what's at the marshes and hopefully make a determination on whether we let her have the item or not. If it's so powerful, it could also be used to cause people harm, even though she said she was going to use it for protection. That could be protecting herself could involve harming somebody or someone or something. She definitely wasn't telling us everything, and she was careful with some of her wording. Understandably, because she doesn't trust us, but that also makes me more suspicious.
Yes.
Well, maybe she is concerned if she has established herself hidden locations, that the map is powerful enough to reveal that it's hidden there.
Oh, yes.
And
That's true
therefore
too.
if she is thinking of it in terms of something for protection, she just wants to confirm whether
Oh, you
pointed
cut
out,
out.
with a giant sign that says vampire is here.
That is fair. I still think we should check out the grove as well. We can always come back. We are going to have to come back this way at some point to give her the map, but we...
Well, I go where you tell me to go, and I hit what you tell me. So, if you wish to investigate the marsh, we may do so. Although, if it is particularly boggy, you are carrying me.
Fair. That's fair. Wouldn't be the first time.
Perhaps we could make you some stilts.
That'd probably be worse, but we could.
I don't know. He could look like a funny stork bird.
It would also attract more attention than me just carrying him on my back.
True. Would be funny.
Yeah. Would, a quick question, would any of, I mean, probably not Lavender, but who knows, would any of you have actually traveled the marshes before? Like, or have we as a group, or am I is Rosemary the only one, the only one who's actually traveled that area?
I think you've probably been into the marshes. Could possibly be like, oh no, my horse ran off. You want to earn 10 silver coins getting it back? Or, similar things. I don't think, I think Rosemary's the only one who's actually been deep into the marshes.
Cool.
But I'd say all of you have been near or at least like half a day into the marshes, but not more.
So not the real dangerous stuff, but still dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. Well, it seems we're decided on that. What do we do with all of this ill-gotten stuff? Do we put it back? Do we?
Oh, did the ledger say that anything about all the ill-gotten stuff, like how it was acquired? Adana?
I'd say it just said acquired and dates and basically dates and what was in each what's it called?
Caravan?
No.
Like what was taken?
Take.
My
mind says it's called load, but that's not it.
Yeah, that's fair though. That would be fair, I think, for what you're trying to get at. Like each cut, each take, each load that they got.
Yeah. So it would be like fair, on this date, round noon, and it was just be a list of goods acquired, and that's it. And then you would have like a few pages later a date and goods sold.
So is it clear that this is banditry?
Not from the way it's written, no. But it is strange for a farm to buy and sell things like bolts of silk.
And have such very fine quality items in their house. I mean, maybe pots and pans, but like the mundane stuff, like quilts and blankets, and like that would be very odd. You know, I'm benefit of the doubting with pots and pans, because that's probably really hard to come by. So you would want nice stuff so you can take care of the nice stuff. But like, you know.
So like places you've stayed where they have quilts, they're usually homemade, not like high quality, but functional.
The knickknacks I found, like the coins and weird stuff hidden, like that's definitely suspicious. The chest I found is definitely suspicious. The stuff Lavender found moved around, definitely suspicious.
Yes.
There's a lot of suspiciousness going on, but nothing concrete.
No, it's more like
Mm.
this is odd, but nothing
Yeah.
screams bandits. It's just
Yeah, it's all
odd.
circumstantial, as the law shows would say.
Yeah. They could be bandits,
Okay.
they could be fences, they could be just storage for weird shit. It
They
could
could be weird hoarders.
could be weird hoarders. They could be someone's attempted tax evasion. It's just weird.
Hmm.
So
Well, as far as that stuff is concerned, it's not ours. I'm not necessarily sure it is theirs either.
Yes, I agree.
But if possession is 9/10 of the law, then it's more theirs than it is ours. I wouldn't want to take it.
It looks up for this map, but they don't know. They probably didn't know that they had this anyway.
Mm.
Does it look like any of the other map cases have been opened? Because like really nice map cases like can look like they're sealed and like not opened, because like over time it would create like weird grooves if you were to open it and close it too much. But so does it look like any of the other map cases have ever been opened, or they've just been here? Like, oh, this is nice stuff.
I'd say when you open and there was like this kind of resistance you get from leather that hasn't been moved in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it would
Yeah.
really be like a instead
Yeah.
of if the leather had been oiled often, it would just
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Like,
Yeah.
are the other map cases hard to open, or are they really?
No, all of them seem to be difficult to open. They haven't been open in a while.
Yeah, so they probably definitely don't know that they actually have this map. So, well, it certainly doesn't. I'm gonna actually out of character. I'm gonna give into my dark thought about whether they are bandits. I would like to go. I'm not gonna go super far outside, but I would like to go outside and in the day, because it's daylight now, and within my visual radius, kind of doing like a 360. I want to see if there's earth that has been set up in such a way to indicate their like disturbed earth in a way that maybe indicates them underneath. Not necessarily like mounds, but like a strange place to have disturbed earth that's like not growing something, or it's not like animals.
Yeah. Okay, so
And I'll do like a little bit of a walk around the property, but I'm not gonna like go out and.
All right, yeah. Please give me a.
Oh, I just had the worst thought, and I'm not going to voice it.
This is my worst thought. Is like, oh, they actually are murdering people.
No, I'm just thinking, do they have pigs?
No.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Not
They
going there.
have horses, cows, and goats. But yeah, you step outside,
rolling
you
away.
see this pen with 2 goats in it, and the goats are now out
Yeah.
and just
Okay.
looking at you like, feed me.
Right. Yeah, because you said all their food was running low.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, looking around, please give me a perception check, since you're just scanning the area.
Yeah, just for any unusual
Mhm.
earthness. It's not too bad. Could have been better.
In the immediate area from where you can see, you can see the buildings, you see the pen. This for you, knee-high stone wall. Not really, but it's like up to halfway up your thigh stone wall. You look
I
around.
could step over it.
Yeah, you can step over it. It looks like a really nice day, but you don't really see anything that is out of the ordinary. It's early spring, so most things are coming in, but it's kind of hard to tell with the raining, and all of the earth is kind of meh and damp and a little bit gross, but you don't really see anything that would strike you as out of the ordinary.
Yeah. Okay. And I know it's a farm, but not all farms grow food.
Yeah,
Do
no.
they actually have like an area where they grow food as?
You do see like a small area where like you would guess later in the summer there would be like herbs growing
Yeah.
and a little bit
Yeah, 'cause
of
right now it's
vegetables, but right now
Okay.
it's no. They don't seem to be having
Right.
have any fields. They seem to be like
animal based.
yeah, animal based.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it could be like a farm just for themselves that they
Yeah.
don't, like sell things too, so they wouldn't need a lot. Okay. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure, like, is this just trying to like confirm all my suspicions I can.
Yeah. But no, you don't really
Alright.
see anything that looks like it's out of the ordinary for a early spring farm.
Okay. That's
Or
fair.
late
I'm
spring,
not gonna do
my
any
bad.
more.
And
spring.
I think as you're looking around
Go back inside.
the looming forest to the north and the vast kind of sickly greenish blue of the marshes far to the east, sun rising higher and higher in the sky and the clouds gently fading away, promising a really warm day. That is where we're gonna be leaving today.